Welcome to the weekly challenge. We are currently working on a small start to finish project together. Each week we'll build upon the last, so if you get behind, work on getting your project up to speed before tackling this next challenge. If you get really stuck, follow the link in the description to get access to the solution videos to help you out. The challenge for this week will be to start creating our first user interface. And yes, I said first, we will have multiple user interfaces. This first one will be a challenge because of its simplicity. We'll be creating a console application. Now, more about that in just a minute. But first, if you're not familiar with the weekly challenge, let me explain. Each week I challenge you to tackle a topic in C#. I give you all the materials you need to get started. Each challenge will usually take less than an hour to complete. That isn't a lot of time to dedicate to improving your C# skills. But I guarantee you, if you do the challenge each week, your skills will grow. If you're interested in how I would do it, or like I said, if you get stuck, you can follow the link in the description to sign up for my solutions. The best part is you get all my back issues of that challenges as well. And those solutions aren't just source code. I actually give you an hour to 2 hour video on how I would do it and why. Okay? And you get a video for every single weekly challenge I've ever put out. Now, either way, follow the other link in the description to get the challenge file associated with this challenge. Okay, so the goal of this challenge is to create a console app that connects to our class library. Now, this is a part one of a two-part user interface. Okay, so we're not going to do everything in this first challenge. I broke it up in order to give you a little bit more time to work on it. I didn't want to kind of cram it all in here and make you do about 2 hours worth of work. Okay, so my solution of this took about 45 minutes, including explanation, and that was part one. So I didn't want to do 2 hours in order to do the full console UI. So let's talk through this part one. This is going to be our Soda machine, this console user interface. We're just focusing on user actions in this console application, not administrative actions. So administrative actions are things like adding coins or adding coins to the inventory for change, or adding sodas to the inventory, or removing the money that's been put in the machine. Okay, those are all administrative actions. Don't worry about those. Just worry about what a user would want to do with a soda machine when they walk up to it. They're going to want to see what sodas are in stock. They're going to want to see how much a soda is. They're going to want to put money in. They're going to want to buy a soda. All these different things that a user's going to do, you're going to get the application ready for this. Okay? So one of the things you're going to need to do is create the text files that will be our storage mechanism. Remember that we're going to store all of our data in text files. So get those 4 text files set up and put some default data in to start off. Things like, here's how many sodas are in inventory. Here's how many Cokes, here's how many Diet Cokes, here's how many Sprites. And then here is the change we have for making change. Okay, the money we have for making change. And then here's how much a soda costs and that kind of stuff. Okay, so create those text files, put some default data in there, and then create a menu system for the user. All right, so the menu system is, it's going to say, here's the options you have for interacting with this machine. Now, a lot of times people will think of a menu as this drop down or right click menu or something like that. But in a console, you don't have those options. You have to create a visual menu out of text. So do that. Now, don't wire the menu up yet. Just have the menu. That's where you're going to stop pretty much. Is get the console app set up, link it to your DLL, your class library, and then have the text files set up and ready to go. All right? And have that menu. That's the primary challenge. So it's not going to do anything yet except for maybe show the menu. That'll be about it. Now the bonus challenge is to implement dependency injection and eye configuration so the console doesn't need to manually instantiate the necessary classes. So we're already kind of set up for this with dependency injection. So go ahead and put dependency injection into your console app. Now we're going to do a .NET Core console, but by default, they don't expose the built-in .NET Core dependency injection in console applications. You have to add it. Now there's NuGet packages for it, and you could do a third party like AutoFac, but for me, I just use the .NET dependency injection because it's quick and simple, and that's all we really need. And also iConfiguration for accessing the appsettings.json file, which is where you're going to store the location of those 4 text files. So that's your bonus challenge, is to implement that dependency injection and iConfiguration. Again, this app doesn't have to do anything yet. This is just kind of prep work in our console app. Get the dependency injection working, get the iConfiguration working, get those text files set up with default data and copied to the right locations, and get our menu system in place. That way, in part 2, we can start wiring this up to actually work. Okay? So that is the challenge for this week. Get started, get things wired up, get things ready for next week in part 2. All right? Got it? I hope so. Good luck and happy coding.